Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome back. So, wrapping up March, and March was March of the Mammoths. So, it is a booktube event where you have to, if you're participating, at least start a book in March that is over 800 pages. And so, I started Black Lamb and Gray Falcon by Rebecca West. And that it was a history of, or is a history of what was Yugoslavia. And she wrote it. I've only so far done the introduction and the prologue. It's like over 1,100 pages of a book. The prologue is very long, or the introduction anyway, because it talks about like why she wrote it, and kind of what happened since, why she, what her intentions and stuff were, and so it's almost like a travelogue about the culture, her experience. She wrote it basically between the two world wars, but then published it as as World War II is beginning. And so there's a lot of that context that will be going into the story, which I'm really glad that I'm reading about it prior to. But so it was formerly Yugoslavia, now Croatia, Slovenia, Republic of Macedonia, or North Macedonia now, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, and Serbia, and then Montenegro was one of the newer ones that created from that former country. And so I had been wanting to read it for a while, and this year I'm reading it with my friend Angelina over at Books Do Things to Me, and she's based in Slovenia. So we're planning to read it together this year. And it's going to be a year-long undertaking, but I finally was able to start it this month. I'm not far into it, but like I said, I already enjoy the backstory and everything. And along with that, I wanted to, this year, as I'm reading the past, before each country becomes independent as a nation, and then now I'm reading, or throughout the year we'll be reading more Baltic authors from those countries. So I had already previously read Black Butterflies, which is a Bosnian author, about the war in Bosnia. But I also have one that I plan to read called In Late Summer. I have a copy of it, but I just couldn't find it. So I'm going to read that sometime this year, as well as Slata's diary. So this is a child's life in wartime Sarajevo. And I'm going to read this for quarter 2 of Historathon, because it will be, I'm going to do this along with the diary of Anne Frank. And there is one, cannot remember the name, but it's basically at the border of the U.S. border, detention. It's detention, and it's the diaries of a child who is detained at the U.S. border. So I want to do like a compare and contrast video between all these children's stories of the horrific events and things that they endure and see in wartime, and the suffering. And I just wanted to do that. And then there's also a more modern history called the Baltics that I'm going to be listening to. And then I do want to read more from other countries. So I do have a couple Slovenian books that I was given, that I've read already, that were like not children's books, but they were picture books. And also Angelina gave me a couple more that I plan to read. So I have Slovenia covered. And then I already told you Bosnia. And then for Serbia, I'm going to be reading Cardboard City. This is by Katarina Jovanovic. And this one is actually a Romani family that lives in Serbia by a Serbian author. And it's so the Cardboard Cities, they're traveling nomadic people, and it's basically these children are discriminated against, essentially homeless, and their experiences within this cardboard city in a country that doesn't want them. So I will be reading that this year as well for my Serbian story. But I also need to find something good from Croatia, Macedonia. I do have a book by an Australian author about Kosovo refugees, who is about a refugee population in Australia that are from Kosovo. But I would like to find an author who's from Kosovo, and then also Montenegro. So if you have any options or suggestions for authors from those countries, or for histories and stuff specific to those countries, please let me know. And then the other one that I just briefly started, just to get it in at the end of the month, because it's going to be another year-long project, is The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. Solzhenitsyn. I'm probably butchering that, and I'm very sorry. But it's about the labor camps in Serbia, or Siberia, and it's like a very long 3-volume. Each book itself is very long, so it is going to take me a while to get through them. So instead of continuing to procrastinate on them, I started it this month. So those are my options. That's what I'm reading. Anyway, thank you, and once again, happy reading.